haven't touched baseball in a while on this show, but Josh, our Cleveland Guardians have won, what is it, 10 out of our last 11 games and have positioned ourselves to be a game back of the Detroit Tigers. And it is currently in the bottom of the second inning. There is no score in that game. Gavin Williams versus Terrence Skubal with the AL Central kind of on the line tonight, if you ask me.
If the Guardians win, they do clinch the tiebreaker against the Tigers. So it is important that they win, especially tonight. And then Cleveland's got, this is a tricky stretch to end the season because they got Detroit, then Texas. Texas
has to win out, though. They're 5 games back. They have to win out and get some help to make the playoffs.
Yes, I understand that. But I'm not just going to, I'm not just going to summarily.
You're not just going to diminish Texas. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, but I was going to say dismiss Texas.
How many times did we count this Guardians team out? I said they were dead 3 times. I was like, this team's dead. They're going to go 81-81. They're not a playoff team. We were selling off pieces at the trade deadline. We get rid of Carlos Santana, one of my favorite players of all time, in August. And all of a sudden, you know what turned for me? It wasn't just the bats. They finally got healthy with starting pitching. And Gavin Williams has turned into an ace seemingly overnight. And we've seen this movie before from baseball teams. I don't care what anybody says. If the Guardians do actually make the playoffs, whether it's a wild card or the division, I have expectations for them. Maybe not to win the World Series, but to win at least a series. I think they could make a run. I really do. Starting pitching and bullpen's one of the best in baseball over the last month, and it's the team that gets on. It's not the team with the best record.
You saw that with the Texas Rangers back in 2023.
And the wild thing is, do you know this? In the American League, as we currently sit, only the Toronto Blue Jays have clinched a playoff spot, and they haven't even clinched the division. So seeding isn't even locked up in the American League.
Yeah, and Seattle looks like they're going to clinch the division for the first time since like 2001.
Yeah, and, you know, it feels like to me, one of the Tigers, if they completely collapse, or the Astros are not making the playoffs.
I would say it's more likely to be the Asterisks.
I would agree with you, but I mean, if we sweep Detroit, there's a possibility they don't make the playoffs.
Yeah. I really put the nail in the Guardians' coffin after they got swept by the Atlanta Braves at home.
Yeah.
That's when I said, okay, this is done.
And they immediately then went on the run.
Yeah, they did. That was an important road trip against, well, they lost 2 out of 3 against Arizona, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
That was here, right? Yeah, they did.
No, that was in Arizona.
Oh, you're right.
That was part of that 6-game road trip, Arizona, Texas.
You're right. By the way, did you see the National League standings, how crowded that is, at least in the wild card, where you have the Reds, the Mets, and the Diamondbacks all fighting for that last spot?
Yes.
So,
I did see that.
It's pretty crazy. You know, the Mets have collapsed here. They were in a good position. The Reds have made some hay today. The Diamondbacks have made some hay. Like, the National League, to me, feels wide open, right? You got the Cubs, who were very good, but then they fell off a little bit. The Brewers have one of the best records in baseball. The Phillies are good, but you just can't trust them. Obviously, we know the Dodgers roster, but everybody predicted the Dodgers to win 100 games, and they're not even going to be the number 1 seed in the National League.
No, they're not. By the way, the Tigers just got a ground rule double.
So they are up 1-0. That hurts.
No, it's still 0-0.
Oh, ground rule. I thought you said RBI double. That's my bad. Okay. I mean, I don't know. Tell me if you agree. I feel like more this year than last year. I think any one of these teams that make the playoffs can win the World Series. I don't think there's a favorite out there.
Yeah, there's not really that dominant team that you look at and go, yeah, they're the clear favorites.
No, it's been one of those situations all year. Remember, we looked at the standings in like May or June, and we said, like, everybody's pretty close. The Dodgers were not pulling away. Remember, they got off to that crazy start. They were like 9-0 or something, and everybody thought they were just going to run away with it.
Yeah. And yet the Padres are only like 2.5 back.
Yeah, the Padres can still win that division. And I mean, the Padres and Dodgers could match up again in the NLDS, and we know how much of a classic series that was last year.
Yes.
I know you're not much of a baseball guy, so tell me if you agree on this. When the Guardians are in the playoffs, I find myself religiously watching the MLB playoffs as a whole. When they're not in the playoffs, I find myself not really caring as much.
And now Detroit just went up 1-0.
Okay. Well, let's hope we can keep it at 1. But do you agree with my general sentiment?
Not really. I still try to watch, even if the Guardians aren't in it. As it gets into the later rounds, that's when I usually try to tune in with the World Series and all that. But I always find the MLB playoffs a little bit stale anyway.
How are they stale when they're 30 days? It goes by so fast. It's unlike, I find the NBA playoffs very stale because half the games are blowouts.
Maybe it's because I'm more of an NBA and NHL fan. I get more invested in those playoffs.
It's also because it's hard to pay attention, though, because the NFL season is going at the same time.
I think it's also because, for me, most of the time with baseball, you're just sitting there like, okay, ball, strike.
Well, not anymore. With the pitch clock, these games are moving so fast. We've had multiple games this year that are 2 hours in and out, done.
That part I agree with you, yes. But for the most part, it feels like with Major League Baseball, you're waiting for something.